traffic marketing strategy where they just share flyers up and down. We have a flyer that actually states locations where our property is located, and behind it are client testimonials. Real clients have done business with us that are benefiting from the Silverstar ecosystem. Their testimonials are there. So what we do is, I think we need to start posting more of those testimonials so that people can understand the opportunities and access that doing business with real estate can get for them. All right, guys. We'll continue with the questions and answer later. Are we good? Any challenge? Okay. Okay. That's well, that's fine. The boss of your boss. Okay, I attended one of Dr. Lee's events a while ago. And it was a turnaround to me personally. I had this serious mentality shift. I always have this mentality, we are just here to make as much as we can make and go. And then I meant to understand that that is my own personal thinking. Other people are more ambitious, and they are not scared of being ambitious, and then they are not limiting themselves to just the immediate
your light, eh? So I'll try and stay here as much as I can. Well, definitely what we're here to do is to, let me see how I can help you. What we're here to do is to help you become more successful. Let me see how I can help you become more of an achiever. Let me see how I can help you become more productive and to raise your performance level. Now, June 25th this year will be my 20th year of running my consulting firm, and I've been 30. Which is about some few years, about 5 decades. I have seen a lot. I have seen the champion becoming the loser after a while. I've seen somebody who was the creme de la creme being celebrated, but because they do not know what counts, before you know what's happening, they were celebrated yesterday but not celebrated today. You know, there's a proverb that says that in Yoruba land, but I'll try and translate it in English. Let your evening be more productive than your morning. Most people don't understand that. And sometimes when they see success at the beginning of their years, they think it will continue like that, without knowing that sometimes the success that you have achieved as a young person could just be a fluke, could just be a deception, could just be accidental. Now, if you're carried away by the success without knowing the principle behind the success, then you are an endangered species. And everybody needs to pay attention to that. I've seen people who in an organization are the game runners. I mean, they're running things, they're achieving a lot of things, but after a while, they're not there anymore. You're wondering why. Why all these things that way? Don't worry, I have a slide here. I may not go through my slide. I may go to the slide, I may not go through my slide, but just listen to me. I will flow as the atmosphere demands. Are you done? Thank you. So, the question now is that how do you keep winning? How do you keep winning? What do you need to do? You know, many people get rich, but many people don't become rich. You can get rich but not become rich. Now, how do you become rich? Because in your journey of getting rich, there's somebody you become. There's a personality that you become. If you don't pay attention to who you are becoming in your process of getting rich, you only got rich, you did not become rich. And you must be able to look at landmarks in your process of getting the money. Who am I becoming? Am I changing? And again, you know what? There's so many things that have been told us several times that it's just a deception of the rich, trying to dissuade you or not make you pay attention to the things that are important. One of the things that they always tell us is that you should follow your passion. Follow your passion is the most deceptive concept of getting anywhere in the world. You don't follow your passion. You follow data, you follow where the money is. Because you see the rich tell you that you should follow your passion, but when it comes to their own children, they don't tell their children to follow their passion. They force them to follow a particular path set out for those kids. So you can't just afford to listen to things like that. Okay, this okay, yeah, I saw this guy now. Good to see. You guys didn't tell us that it's a blue affairs today, and I love blue. You know, tell us your uniform day. I know. I go where, you know, and I like blue a lot. Blue is my favorite color. Anyway, let's get back to it. Now, guys, this is it. Everything you want to achieve must start from the inside of you. If you're not changing on your inside, forget about it. Whatever you're achieving on the outside is just a mirage. It is going to disappear with years down the line. If you're not strong on your inside and you don't have enough energy to keep pushing internally, internal coherence. If that is not there, forget about anything. Your longevity on anything you're doing is not going to be possible. Take that from me. Not going to be possible. So when you pay attention to the dealings that you have on your inside, then you begin to see things change on the outside. Now I always tell people this: when I meet somebody, the first thing I try to figure out with the person when I'm having a conversation, people don't know this, I'm a very observant person, and I put one-on-one together. Because for me, hey guys, for me, perfection is not a little thing. But little things makes up perfection. I pay attention to little things. There are some things that you don't know I know, but I know already. Because I pay attention to those so-called salient things that most people don't pay attention to. And then one of the things that makes me know whether you are going to go far or not, it's your interpretation mechanism. How are you interpreting events? How are you processing the happenings around you? And then most of the time, you know people's interpretation by the way they speak, through their language. Now, I happen to be probably one of the foremost, if not the foremost. Okay, I guess my boss is going to beat me to it in February. You know, my boss is planning the program in Lagos, and I'm one of the organizers. And I can see the money coming in right now. I'm talking about Sam Adeyemi. How many of us know Sam Adeyemi? Yeah. He mentored me, tutored me, and everything. So he's planning the program February 8th. It's called the Shift Conference. And I can see the money coming right now. It's going to dwarf my own achievement in November. But it's okay. It's still within the house. But this is it. We did so well with November program. We did so well that we paid almost 2/3 of whatever we achieved, whatever we got from that program. We paid it to vendors and especially to a hotel. Then I was lamenting about the fact that a hotel took all my money. And I was lamenting, that's a language, that's an interpretation. Until I sat down with one of my friends, I said, no, don't give me that. A hotel did not take 2/3 of your money. You spent 2/3 of your money in enhancing your brand. Did you see that? Interpretation. That singular statement changed the whole thing about whatever we spent with the hotel. You did not give a hotel 2/3 of your money. 2/3 of your money went into enhancing your brand. Because how many people will have a program in a hotel that big? Change of perspective. And you know what that does? That now further enhances the energy level internally. Because I was talking like somebody who has been defeated. Then this guy brought me back to say, no, forget about that. You're not defeated. You actually spent the money on something that is good. And then that immediately moved me away from being negative to being positive. And then we started talking about we won't have only a program in Lagos alone. We'll have it in Lagos and Abuja. And I'm already looking for billboards in Abuja anyway. And I guess what the Transcorp Hilton, they have given me a bill. They've given me a bill already. But you know what? I'm not scared of the bill. Neither am I scared of having a program within 1 month interval. Because there's energy. And then I even went crazy. Very crazy. Because of the kind of thing the guy said that has pumped me up. Because I was more or less getting into a depressed mood before. Now, based on what he said, I'm now thinking differently. Between March and April, I'm going to be having 4 programs in 3 different countries and 4 different venues. Now, These things are not ordinary stuff. 4 programs in 3 different countries are 4 different venues. High network, high caliber events. And they were able to secure some venues that normally it would take you knowing somebody who is in the one of the top percent in the British United Kingdom, 1% of the citizens in the United Kingdom for you to be able to get that venue. But you see, there's some things that I will share some secret with you before I drop the mic. There's some things that you don't know. Sometimes some people sell more than you sell because they understand the intrigues of the internal coherence. They understand the intrigues of the energy that is on the inside, internal energy. They understand the intrigues that they do not just go into a place. They enter a place with a smell and an aura. You didn't get that. They enter a place with their magnetic field strengthened. That's why I always tell people, bring them into my room with me. Let them just enter the room. Don't say too much. Once they get into the room, they are within my magnetic field. Except they don't have it, I will collect it. Because there's an aura. And we must understand there's an energy. And these are the things that enhances it. Your kind of interpretation. And who you become along the path of getting rich. You can get rich and not become rich. There are some people that don't have as much money in their account as you do, but they are richer in terms of being rich than you that is getting rich. And then as long as they are richer in being rich, not just getting rich, it's just a matter of time. By the time you get to the 5th year, to the 10th year, to the 15th year, they will overtake you. Take that from me. Take that from, they will overtake you. They will overtake you. Interpretation. Now let me quickly do this, because I have a party to attend. I came here for a party. Yeah, came here for a party. Yeah. So, how do you work on your interpretation? How do you work on your interpretation? First, your mindset. You must set your mind to a particular frequency. And after you set your mind, hopefully I'll be able to talk about that, then you shift your mind. How do you set your mind? Your mindset is influenced by the kind of information you open yourself to. The kind of information you open yourself to. Look, I have dined with the big and mighty. I have dined with the poor. I came from a very poor family anyway. And I still have family members that are there and they are wondering, uncle help me, auntie help me. But that's not going to help anybody. To the glory of God, no uncle helped me, no auntie helped me. But then, after having dined with those two people, you realize that the major difference is how their mind functions. How their mind functions. And that depends largely on the kind of information that they are open to. So that's why I always encourage people, be careful about the environment you put yourself in. Because the environment you put yourself in determines the kind of information that you process. I mean, I don't know too much about Abuja. There was a guy who came to meet me. I mean, he was living in Magodo. And he said he just built a house. He rented the house in Magodo. He said he just built a house in Ikorodu. I don't know how to describe this area. I don't know your area very well here. But you know what, let me just go on. You know, Ikorodu is like a town within Lagos. Okay, you know what? He was living in what's this area? Okay, he was living in Wuse 2. Wuse 2. Wuse 2. And then now decided that he has built a house in somewhere in Nasarawa. Okay, you know, I'm just trying to, because I know that sometimes there was a day I was going to a particular city to speak, and I saw the traffic coming into Abuja in the morning. I mean, the traffic was like 3rd Mainland Bridge traffic in Lagos. So I saw the traffic. I said, where is they say they are coming to Abuja? That although we are against traffic, and I said, so that means we'll be there. When we are coming, say no. By the time we are coming back, the traffic will have moved to this side. It just reminded me of what's it called, 3rd Mainland Bridge. But anyway, when he told me he was going to, because he built a house, so he was going to leave Magodo and move to his house that he just built. I said, please, don't move. Stay in Magodo. You see, the feeling of being a landlord you have already achieved because you have built a house. Rent it out. So when your friends are talking, you have that feeling, me too, I get house where I don't build. That is what you need from that. You don't need to move from a good area and then move yourself to a very low cost area and then feel that in the next 5 years or 10 years you'll be able to compete with the people that you left in Magodo. Not possible. Not possible. Because after a while, when you start living in that corridor, you start realizing that I'm a king girl. How can I say just because be intimidating me in that Magodo? Now look at the people here. They can even give you chieftaincy title. And be eulogizing you and everything, and then you're happy and everything, because you know something, you will start declining. Why? Because the kind of people you interact with, the mind you interact with there, will put a virus into you. And then your language will change. Then you start talking like the masses. Is it Berekete or whatever they call it now? That show, is it? That kind of language. I told him not to go. Thank God he didn't. He didn't go. Eventually he bought a house in Magodo. Environment. That's why some people will do everything to stay in a particular environment. Don't you know that there are some clubs? I don't know whether it's here in Abuja or there's a club, Highland Maternity, Yoruba Tennis Club, that people fight to get into. Because when they get into those kind of environment, there is a kind of conversation that happens there. Look, the guys who are rich are not better than you. They are not. That sometimes some of them even come to you for advice. Say, can you let me write that letter now? But you will write that letter. You will submit it, they won't approve it. But you help them write the letter, they will submit it and it will approve. So it's not about the intelligence. It's not about who you are in the same room with. And there's some kind of conversation that are happening in some kind of rooms that are not happening in every kind of room. There will be that change. Once you change your environment, you change the information. And once you change the information, then you change your self-image. Your self-image. What you process in your mind. Now, let me give you this clue. I'm just talking here and there, but I'm sure I'm dropping some nugget that can change you. Your 5 senses are very important to you in processing information. But your 2 most powerful of your 5 senses are your hearing and seeing. Now, if you can control what you see and what you hear, then you can control your life. If you can control what you see and what you hear, then you control the self-image you see about yourself. And your self-image supplies or energizes your self-esteem. And your self-esteem is where energy is. If you get into a gathering and you see yourself as being inferior, your energy level drops. Your aura moves into the negative. You will be speaking a particular, you'll be speaking English, but you will not connect with those people. Haven't you seen that? I mean, you are in a place, so you are talking, and people are not even taking you serious. And somebody else comes in, and they almost said the same thing that you are saying, and they are saying correct. I can't forget this. No, 1999 or 1998. I was preaching in our church those days, Daystar Christian Center. Then I made a quote. I quoted, I didn't even know I quoted that script. I quoted, no, it was not a script, it was a quote, quotable quote. And then a lady came to meet me and said, I can't forget this lady. 1998, not that I've not forgiven her, but I can't forget the incident. Said, that quote that you quoted is a bit confusing. Then she mentioned the quote. I can't even remember the quote now. And I said, sister, it is not my quote. Oh. It was a quote by Bishop David Oyedepo. And then guess what she said? So, now I understand it. I can't forget. 1998. I did not explain that quote. I did not break it down. I did not break it down. I did not explain it at all. I just said, it is not me, it is David Oyedepo. And then she understood. Then I realized that there are some things that you're trying to push that you don't have the energy to push it. There are some people that will never understand you unless you're able to build that energy within, that aura within. And then you realize that the things that you said 10 years ago, you say it now, it penetrates, it makes more meaning. And you're wondering what changed. Mindsets, your self-image. And your self-image, your self-esteem will determine your self-manifestation. Will determine your self-manifestation. If your manifestation is below par, don't labor too much on the activities. Look at your esteem. And then for you to know where your esteem is at, then you look at the image. And then for you to figure out how do you correct this image, look at your environment. Remember, all this is self, not people. Self-esteem is not people esteem. So when you wait for people to give you energy, they can only add to what you have. They can't stir up the energy from the beginning. Are we together here? So by the time you begin to we're going to Malaga, and I was just in my house. No, I was not in my house. So I was at a program, and I just saw an alert, boom, like that, into my account. I was wondering. There was no company on that account. Who paid this amount? Almost 50 million naira, like that. And they said they are paying for 5 people. There's an attraction. I mean, somebody came to meet me, they called me, I don't know, I'm not sure we're there. They said, Nia, this one, we want you to come and speak for us. I said, what's your budget? I don't know why, I don't pick such call, I don't know why I picked it. They said 1.5 million naira. I said, that's not my job, give it to someone else. I cut it off. So they now booked an appointment with me to see me in my office. They sat down with me. Guess what? 1.5 million naira became 15,000 US dollars when they came to my office. Because there's an aura. That is why I will never meet you when I'm weak. Neither will I meet you where I am weak. I will meet you in the place of my strength. But you need to know your strength anyway. You need to know your strength. You need to know where your place of strength is. It is very possible that I will beat you in football if I'm playing home. The chances of beating you is high. Am I right? Of course. Than when I'm playing away. I mean, 1.5 became 15,000 US dollars. With beg, with beg. So there's some things that we're struggling with. If only we can work on our internal selves. If only we can work on the kind of information that we process. If only we can find ourselves and stay in the midst of the people who are thinking the way we are thinking. I will do anything to get out of an environment that is toxic. I will do anything to stop having conversation with people that are toxic. Don't worry, we'll sit down. Madam, don't worry, welcome, sir. Welcome. Protocol. Good to see you. Are we together here? You know, I will soon drop the mic. I want to go to my Owambe. I actually brought 2 or 3 agbadas to fit to see which one would which one will just look nice. All of them can enter. It's just like your jacket, your suit. Are we together here? Are we together here, guys? Are we together here? Focus more on that. Whenever you are selling, ask yourself, what are you becoming? What can you learn from what you have just sold? I've seen people sell houses, though. And you met those boys now. You meet more of them. I mean, young boys, 20-something-year-old boy. One of my boys just told me, sir! He was harassing me. The guy used to harass me. His name is Lukman. He's one of the Dukia boys. And he always harasses me. He now told me that, sir, they are owing me money. I say, I owe you money, don't worry. Somebody just gave us 550 million naira for one of our properties. He was telling me that. And he was still telling me that I know I'm owing you money. That's how bullish he could be. I mean, these guys are young guys in their 29 and 30s. And this is how we change them. And then even the people who are working with them, you will see that mentality. And if there's anything you get out of here, is that mindset, that mentality. To know that your energy from the inside is absolutely important. Important. Thank God my slide is not showing again. Let me just share something with you and I'll close. If you can get to that slide that shows energy vampires. Energy vampires. Energy vampires. No, that you come down a bit. Come down, come down, come down. Keep coming down. Yeah. Whoever is there, click on this. So they won't see the other slides. Look, how many of us are below 35 here? 35, let me see your hands. Below 35. Okay, you're the lucky ones here. But if you're closer to 35, oh no, how many of us are below 30? Below 30. Oh, you're the very lucky ones. Those of us who are above 35, you need to listen to me, pay attention. Because you know what? You know why? You know why? You know why? Your body begins to diminish or deteriorate at the age of 35. Your stuff are not growing again. So therefore you don't have enough energy like the 16 or the 17. I mean, my personal trainer will work on me and my son. My son will be 20 this year. And he'll be giving us the same reps. I said, what's your problem? I'm almost times 3 his age. I said, when you give him 20, you give me 10. He is gunning for 6 packs. Me, at this time of my life, I don't need 6 pack again. Don't kill me. And then you see the boy benching all those things. And the trainer will not be using me. You too, sir. I said, what do you mean? I can't die before my time. I'm here not for muscle. I'm here to just keep fit and live long. The energies are different. So by the time you realize that you're above 35, then you know that your energy level needs to be preserved. You can't afford to be involved in any kind of conversation that will not add value to you. Now, everybody you meet, any environment you find yourself, they are either energy vampires or energy suppliers. So that's why I will do anything to get out of any kind of environment. No matter who you are, no matter what you are. Once I feel it, that I'm being drained energy-wise, I am leaving. And I'm sensitive to it. Now, look at it. The people who take away your joy, and you feel that joy has disappeared from you. You're not happy. You're feeling so inferior. You're feeling so not there. People are looking at you and then they're not even conversing with you. And then you begin to feel, why did I come here? Why did I come here? Next time, stay away from there. Stay away from there. Because you need to be in places where, I should hang out with you. And then once I'm done hanging out with you, I feel on top of the world. I feel that whatever I achieved yesterday is not something that I should be building monument around. There's still so many more land to be conquered. I should feel that burst of inspiration. If I don't feel the burst of inspiration, sometimes it could be challenges that can inspire me. There's something we call inspirational dissatisfaction. When you experience some level of dissatisfaction in your life, that you turn it into inspiration. Sometimes you can be with people that when you thought that you have achieved about the things they are saying, then you realize that you are not even there. You're not even close to the territory of achievement. Now that can make you feel a little bit gloomy and everything, but your interpretation is to turn that, dissatisfaction into inspiration. Always hang around people that bring you joy. Always hang around people that have something nice to say. Look, when I meet you and I look at you, I have 1,001 bad things to say about you. I have 1,000 to make. But I've learned that correction, there is always a time for it. There's always a time for it. That is why it is impossible. That is impossible and can't together to be in my circle and to be within my vicinity and not be inspired. Because I wait till the right time for me. Because the more you feel good, the more you achieve. Start with praise. I know with the situation of this country and what you have done for yourself, it's quite common. I've really tried. And I see the people. No, I'm not looking at my team. I'm explaining something. I'm explaining something. Before you clap everything. Now, it's quite commendable. And then I look at your mates outside and I see that you are a step ahead. And I'm really glad that we have something to do together. Now, the next thing you say, don't use but and don't use nevertheless. And then what you use next doesn't have to make sense. But you see, if you're talking to someone like me that pay attention to words, once you use that but, it has neutralized everything you have said before. So you can say, and I just have some few things to say to you so that we can see how we can raise your trajectory in your performance and everything. Then you bring in the correction. That is the condiment. But don't allow the person leave your sight without ending it with praise, the other bread. Always say, even with all these things that I have said, I still have this undeniable belief in you because of what I've seen you do in time past. I know this thing is mincemeat. You can achieve that and then even much more. Thank you for the person leaves that or the scriptures one way or the other. If you're just talking plainly, I'm not paying attention to you. I'm not paying attention to you. And sometimes when they know that they want to collect something, they go to my library and they pick a book. And then sit down with me and they are not telling me, no, this is what I got from this book. Or I know they're up to something. But you don't ask immediately. But by the time you do all those things, you get something out of me. Because development is very, that's why your officer and your officeman, anybody who does not look like they are developing themselves, they need to be moved to another unit. Because you see that CEO's office, and you know now, the CEO's office has to be protected with people who are developing themselves. Not the one that you enter and then you say something and say, Oga, with this economy in Nigeria, do you think that is going to be possible? No, you don't want pessimists in the CEO's office. You don't want that. You want people that you will drop A and they will give you the branches that connect with A. The branches that connect, that's the people you need. So, are they developing themselves? If anybody is not developing themselves, they are drawing you back. Yeah, so you don't want that. People who pull you back to delegated task. I mean, I gave you a task, and then you're pulling me back. After with that thing, you're saying, sir, I don't understand. Jesus Christ. We spoke about this thing for like 2 days, or 3 days, or 2 weeks. You're telling me you don't understand it. How dare you? How dare you? So this is how you work on this. When you're given a task by your boss, before you leave there, look, don't even get into the presence of your boss without holding a note. I'm not talking about this kind of note though. You must have a journal. You must have a note specifically written there, meeting with my upline. And then as they are talking, you are writing the date, you are writing it. Oh, I want you to do that, I want you to do that. I mean, you are following them with the note. If it's going to be your phone, use it very well. Write it, and then before they leave, ask them, Ma, are these things, are this what you said I should do? Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If there is need for a correction, immediately she will correct you. No, that's not what I said. I didn't say you should go to Kubwa. I said you should go to Gwarimpa. I got it, Abi? Yeah, good. I said you should go to Gwarimpa. Okay, sorry, I thought it was Kubwa. So Gwarimpa, you correct it immediately. You have done the first thing. Now, the next thing is this. By the time you begin to go through all those things and begin to achieve all those things, or begin to go with the goals that she set, don't ever wait for her to ask you how far with what I told you to do. Now, look at this way. She gave you 4 weeks to achieve that goal. 4 weeks. Are we together here? And then within 1 week, she's not asking you how far. You're not telling your boss, but it's 1 month now. You just failed. You just failed. Because you didn't. Anytime your boss asks you how far, you just missed a deadline within deadlines. So, as you are making progress, anytime you see them, let them know, Madam Akuna, you see, we've gone to Gwarimpa, and then we did this, we did that. We're making progress. 1 week, not 4 weeks. We're making progress. They say, okay, good. And then 2 weeks say, yeah. And I told you last week that we did this, we did that. Now, this is what we've done so far, blah, blah, blah. We've gone 10% more, 20% more result and everything. Don't you think any boss will like that? Because we missed something. We don't know that breakfast feedbacks at the breakfast of champions. Consistent feedbacks are what champions feed on. So giving them such, I'm not talking about just them, whoever you're reporting to, giving them those feedbacks before they ask is better for you. Now, let me also teach you one more thing. It is called lifeline within deadlines. How do you create lifelines within deadlines? Are we together here? How do you create lifelines within deadlines? Now, Akuna gave you 4 weeks, am I right, to do the job. And then you have to give me the job to do, being your downline, reporting in line. It will be a tragedy, it will be a disaster for you to give me 4 weeks like your boss gave you 4 weeks. It's a tragedy. What if at 4 weeks and I appear to you and the work is half done or not done? So what do? You go back there and give them excuses that the woman you gave me, or sorry, the man you gave me didn't do the job because the work must stop on your table. So what do? When they give you 4 weeks, you don't give your downline 4 weeks. You give them 3 weeks at most. So what you've done is to create a 1 week lifeline within the deadline so that you can rush and complete what needs to be done within those 4 weeks. Are we together on this? I'm just giving you a review that will make you the attention of your boss. Because we pay attention to those things, not to those psychophonic runs. We pay attention to those salient things. The guy who comes to you and give you feedback consistently, they get your attention. The guy who creates lifelines within deadlines, they get things done faster. And it's all about development. Let me quickly rush through this. People who care too much about what others are saying about them. Are you one of them? I just wrote a book now. I just bought a book. What's the title of the book? The book is very interesting. What? Okay, I thought you were talking to me. Oh. That means I must be very boring. No, it's okay. She's been sincere. So, a book, The Courage to be Disliked. That's just a paraphrase of what the title is. I want to read the book to be courageous, whether you like me or not. I keep going. What are the elements in it? What are the things I'm supposed to put in? Because you see, I don't mostly care about what you say about me. It doesn't really matter. What matters is what I'm saying about myself. What I'm saying about myself. Now, if you're so bogged down about what people are saying about you, you have a problem with your self-esteem. You are more tilted to people's esteem than self-esteem. Because if you have spoken to yourself very well and you have understood yourself very well and you know who you are, what you carry and where you're going, then if anybody is saying something about you that is negative, it's just a matter of time. You can always shove it off. Okay, that's just it. Now, I'll round up now, don't worry. I know party is about to start. Now, we're going to start to one. Okay, let me just finish this. People who have emotional deletion. People who enjoy unnecessary discussion and arguments. I like football. Well, I can't spend my whole day talking about football. Not necessary. I argue football, don't get me wrong, especially when you're talking about Barcelona. And then when you now begin to compare Ronaldo with Messi, that's an eyesore. Very unintelligent. Yeah, very crazy. The gap is so wide. And I think I always tell people now that before we get into that conversation, wait till Ronaldo wins the World Cup. Yes, well, who cares? I have the courage to be disliked. But you see, there's some conversations that you don't even get yourself into. Do you remember those people who go to the vendor? Association of Free Readers, have you NFA, have you newspaper, yes. No, they understand what is wrong with Nigeria. but they don't understand what is wrong with them. They don't understand what is wrong with them. They have a problem with everything. I mean, they can give you all the chronicles of the everything analysis, but yet they do not. I said, with this guy too now. You to wear blue shirts. What did you do now? Now only me and you know wear blue shirts. And you, yes, so we are very pure. We don't know about the rest. Are we there? So please guide your conversations, especially when you're above 40. They have deceived you. They say life begins at 40. It's a scam. It's a scam. And then you two are waiting for 40. Those of you who are not 40 yet, don't wait for 40. Oh. Enjoy your life now. Life does not begin at 40. There is no enjoyment after 40. Because there's some kind of food you can't eat again. There's a kind of time you cannot eat. When you start eating after 7 or 8 p.m., you're looking for trouble. That's why you now sleep. You now say one demon pressed you. One demon pressed you, and then you shouted, Jesus, Jesus, or Allah Akbar. The thing did not move. You are wondering, how can you shout the name of Jesus and the demon is not moving? Then you know there is no demon. It's the food you ate, heavy food that you loaded, that is trying to digest while you are trying to sleep. So that's what is pressing you down. You stop eating late. Then you realize, after 40 or 50, you have to be taking ice cream occasionally. Hope you don't know. Me, whenever I do my blood sugar, and I see that the thing has always stayed low, immediately I see the test like this, I go and buy ice cream. Opportunity, at least blood test, so the thing they low before the thing shoot up. Do you understand? So enjoy your life before you get to 40. By the time you get to 40, your 3 square meal begin to reduce from 3 to 2. And then when you get to 70 or 60, you become 1. And then by the time you're getting to 80, if you are lucky, you'll only be eating fruit. So this is the time to enjoy your life. This is the time to travel. This is the time to go places. That's why you have to work hard now. You have to sell all those houses. Sell all those houses. And many of us are not selling because we are not attracting the new people around us. Then you go into an environment that you have rich people. We brought you there, but we can't make a sale. Why? Because the aura that you are exuding is repelling them. There is no connection. There is no connection. They can't even reason with you. You are not making sense. You are quoting Oyedepo, but it's confusing people. When the quote is not quoting, you are confusing because the person that is quoting it does not look like the person that should quote it in their minds. So when you become an Oyedepo, then you can start quoting. You realize the things that you have quoted before, people begin to pay attention to it. That's how to win, my guess. And let me also warn you. Let me give you this. I always teach that. I'll drop the mic now. The best way to become rich is not to follow what rich people say. Is to observe what they do. And do what they do. Many of them are telling you things that they did not do, like passion. Follow your passion, your gift and everything. No, don't listen to what they say. Pay attention to what they do. Pay attention. Have you heard people who say that university degree is nothing, rubbish and everything? You heard? How come their children are in the university? How come their children are in the university? So if university degree is useless, why are your children in the university? Why are you taking them to master's, PhD and insisting Although you did not go to school, so you are using that one to teach us. What is there in university? I became rich without the university. Is your son at home? So you now had that. Oh, they say you don't need university degree. So you now left school. You are in trouble. Because you see, the man that became rich without going to school or something like that is a 1%. Is an exception. It's not the rule. It's not the rule. Exception is not the rule. So most of the time, if you stay with that, you have only 1% chance of becoming successful. So it's better you go through the route of 99%. Thank God the richest men now in the world went to school. There was a time the ones that didn't go to school were the ones that we were using to do example. Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg. Thank God Elon Musk went to school. Thank God Jeff Bezos went to school. And I always tell people this: the Bill Gates you are copying, the Bill Gates you are copying. If I get money, if mama get money. The mother was the director of a bank. The father of the mother, his maternal grandfather, was a chairman of a bank. And his father, Bill Gates Sr., was one of the strongest lawyers in Seattle. So when you see all those things, then you realize I didn't go to school and everything is a deception. Don't pay attention to what they say, pay attention to what they do. And number 2, don't ever buy a product or anything from a rich man without buying relationship. You must buy relationship along. That is why when they sold you this, so it's me, when they sold me this, they put a manual to it. Am I right? But most of us don't go through the manual. I didn't go through my own manual. That's why I don't know sometimes what is functioning until my children take it and they help my life. The manual is the relationship. How you can get the best out of this thing. So when you buy a product from Silver Star and Silver Star Homes and everything like that, you know what you do? You don't just buy the product, you buy the relationship. You don't just come here to work to collect a salary. You buy a relationship. Can I be mentored in this place? So your attention, your interpretation shifts from the money you're collecting to knowing that whenever you walk in a place, you collect more than money, you connect the environment, you connect the mindset of the CEO. And then by the time you take your attention away from the money, you focus on the mindset of the CEO, the environment, guess what? You begin to get more because there is more to life than the money you're collecting. You buy relationship. What brought me here today? Not because he bought a product. Moreover, the product went down by, it don't expire, this is relationship. He bought relationship. He didn't just make it look at, okay, we have done this and everything. We call, we talk. That's why you knew I was coming here. Did I tell you I was coming? You knew I was coming. One way or the other, we knew. I said, we get retreat though. And I was supposed to be here. I was supposed to fly in today. Because he said there's a retreat this morning, I moved my ticket to come. I came in yesterday. Just so I can be here in the morning and then I can move to my party. Because when I have prayer in the morning, na party I dey go today. But I have to move it. Relationship. Did I ask you for ticket money? Did I ask you for hotel money? You know what? Relationship is already there. By the time you buy relationship along with product, you're better off. What can change your life is relationship. Forget it. Nobody gets to the top. Everybody's brought to the top. They will bring you. They will bring you. And that's why you have to hold on to his apron. You have to tell him wherever you go, I go. Whatever he does, do. Not just what he says. Watch him. Stay close to him, proximity. The things that will change your life will not be taught. They will be caught. TAUGHT and CAUGHT. And how do you catch? By staying close. Proximity. But you have to earn it. Nobody can just be close to me. I can give you my number now and you call me and I won't pick up. You have to earn it. And in earning it, I'm not saying give me money. Sometimes you earn it 2-3 means. Your talent, your time, or your treasure. You can pay with your time by doing an extra time, not necessarily because of the pay, but because you want to make sure that that job is accomplished. And then when he sees you or she sees you as somebody who accomplish things for them and goes out of their way to give them an extra time, you are earning a space in that with them. Your talent. Oh, you are in IT. That's what we employed you for. But you have done project management. So when they are talking about new project, you can offer an email, write an email to the CEO or the CEO, and then let them know, this is what we learned at the project management course. I just said I should drop this. If you find it useful, thank you, sir, and I can explain further. What you're doing is that you are bringing your talent to earn a space. And also you can do it with money. You can do it with money. Buy a card, a note. Our 6 and 4-year-old daughters, buy a gift. You can say they can't appreciate your gift. But you see those girls, they will appreciate any gift. So you can give those girls so much gift that they know your name, that even when they're having prayer meetings, they will call you your name. Somebody hear me, and Pastor Nick they told me their first daughter, when she was growing up, that she always asked them that let us pray for Pastor Nee. When she was growing up, she's now almost 20-something, almost 30-something now. She told me herself. There must be a reason why. There must be a reason why. When you take good care, you will buy a space in that place. I have a program now for somebody, February 8th. I'm the chief planner. Chief planner. I even sponsored, part sponsored. And I'm going to be there from Friday. Book my own hotel in a co-hotel, myself and my staff, on our own bill. Making sure the program is successful. What am I doing? I'm buying space. Sorry, I'm renewing my rent. Because I already have the space. I'm renewing my rent in that space. That's how things work. The 1% can show you the way to becoming the 1%. Don't stay too far from these guys. Do everything. They may call it psycho-fancy. But the only reason why it becomes psycho-fancy is when you don't have productivity going hand in hand. Once you're producing, you're achieving your result in your area that we have committed into your hands. Trying to make sure that they are good and happy and stable is no more psycho-fancy. It's doing the right thing at the right time. I hope with these few words of mine, I've been able to challenge you and help you to grow. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, we don't have much time again. It's time for our lunch, and I would entertain just 2 questions for Oga before he leaves for his Owambe. So please, just 2 questions. Just 2 questions. Either question or what you learned from this will not be small time, over an hour. that has been impacting positively into our lives. So either what you learn or question, just two, please.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. Thank you for such a powerful speech. I really enjoyed listening to you, and I believe one day I will be opportunity to listen to you more. My name is Seth Singh. My boss is Seth, so I decided to be Seth Singh. My question is for we young people struggling with career paths, most especially when it comes to sales. We have this experience of having been turned down when we even have a good opportunity to grab. But at the closing remark, you made mention of buying a space where you can be taken at the top. And a lot of young people with potential struggle with this challenge. What would be your advice for this, sir? Yes, sir. Yes, let me elaborate. The question is young people struggling with a career path, and most cases when there is opportunity to grab the model or the access to that opportunity becomes difficult. So what would you?
Yeah, because most of the time when you come to a space or you want to get into a space, you're going into that space to get. You're not going to that space to give. It's the mentality of getting. And that's what is something happened to the Gen Zs and everything. They just want to get. You just think about yourself. Anybody who thinks about themselves, forget about it. They're not going to go too far. What you need is to ask yourself, what kind of value can I have to this person? There's always an area of concern. If you can figure out the area of concern of the person you want to connect with, and you provide solution to their area of concern when you're talking to them, they will give you the attention. Because look, as you're looking for the attention, they have about 2,000. For instance, my own life now, everywhere I go to, people come and mentor me, I'm just nodding my head. I know it's not going to be possible. But somebody now meets me now and say, you know what, I checked your website, and I realized that 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, you're not optimized. I mean, just say all the algorithm language and everything, and now tells me that, you know, I've done this and done that with my career and everything. I've helped this person, this and that, this. You know, I'll give you my direct number. Immediately, I'll give you my direct number. And I will introduce him to people in my office that will make him see me almost on a regular basis. Why? Because he didn't just come to take. He also came to give. That's why I said something about the 3 T's. Time, treasure, and talent. You must be a giver. You must be a giver. Now there's something, let me just teach this. There's something called EBA. EBA. I know you're hungry. This is lunchtime, eh? Let me aggravate the hunger. EBA. EBA means emotional bank account. Emotional bank account. It's not original. If you read Stephen R. Covey's book, you will have seen it there. Emotional bank account. You know how it works? You know how it works. Listen to me, please. Anytime you meet someone, your face and your name registers with the person. You open an account in the person's emotional bank. All of you have emotional banks. Now, some of you are meeting me for the first time today. Whether you like it or yes, I have opened an account in your emotional bank. Whether you feel, I feel for, as long as you know me, my face and my name registers with you, I've opened an account. Yeah. So whatever I do to you that stirs up your emotions negatively, I am making withdrawals from my account. Whatever I do to you that stirs up your emotions positively, I'm making deposits into the account. So you do me a favor, you're making deposits. You ask for a favor, you're making withdrawals. That's why most of us get no's most of the time. Why? Because you are writing a check, emotional check of 20,000 emotional currency, but your account deposit is showing 1,000 emotional deposits there. You're making withdrawal 20,000. What will happen to your check? It will bounce. So before you ask for a favor, you should ask yourself, how much favor have I done to this person? So you now look at it, what can I do? I'm coming to ask. Before I ask, what can I do? So many people call me and say, you know, there's somebody who wanted to connect with. I say, I don't talk to this person, no, but you give me 2 weeks. So I pick up my phone and call the guy. Hi, how are you? It's been a while. How you doing? No request. Let it be. You know, sometimes if you don't operate your account for 6 months, it goes into dormancy. Yeah. So you have to activate it. That's the call to activate. Because you now say, you just called me after 2 years, and then it's a request you are bringing. Your account was already dormant. That's why you get a no. Do you understand? So ensure you give people enough EBA before you start asking for favors. There are so many EBAs I have given all around the world that I have not even requested years. You know, sometimes I just put them in one corner the day that I would need them. This guy Gidi, I don't know whether you know Gidi. He had a problem with his land in Lagos. When he told me where the land is, I said, yeah, I get a bar for there. I have a bar with the king in that area. So we have to activate the EBA. I mean, we painted the palace inside out when he was doing his first year coronation. I have sent 5 cows, just to say thank you to him. Now, my boy has a problem with 150 million naira land. That is the time to activate the EBA. And then when we're there talking about the land and everything, he said they have sworn that nobody will be able to use that land. It will be over his dead body. But he's still very much alive. And then Gidi is still very much on the land. That is the power of EBA. You don't know when you will need it. Akuna, this thing is EBA. I'm doing today. The party I came for is EBA. I mean, I appeared, flew myself down to Lagos, lodged in my own hotel and everything. I'm going to appear there today, give them a check. They're going to hug me, we're going to hug her. I said, hey. But inside me, I'm telling myself, you owe me one. You owe me one. You owe me one. I'm waiting for the day where I will need it. I can never tell when I will need it. So please, let everybody work based on that. Work based on that. You will get you a lot of things when you do it with a lot of consciousness. There is always an EBA to give. Don't ask for a favor when you have not done a favor. I think that should be the last question. Okay. Oga Police.
Sorry, sir. Good day, sir.
Okay. Straight to your question, don't worry.
Sir, you mentioned the issue of relationship.
Okay.
I've once worked with the principal that he finds it uncomfortable. He hates relating with his co-colleagues. And those people are kind of in a prominent position that if it's going to be kind of a give and take, that is this EBA issue you mentioned. Now, but if find it so uncomfortable for you talking to them, or even to the state of asking for their contacts. Now, in that kind of situation, what can somebody do, sir?
Yeah. See, once he hates you doing something and you are doing it, you are stirring up his emotions negatively. So your principle is very important. So what does he want? He doesn't want you to talk to them. So why are you talking to them? There's no point talking to them. Sometimes your pay grade does not allow you into some conversation. We know it in military now. There is the rank and file and there is officer's mess. Even when you're rank and file and you get into officer's mess, you can't. When they are cracking jokes, you can't laugh. You are there. They are cracking the joke. You want to laugh, you dare not. You dare not. You are there. Your job is not to be in the conversation. You now want to put your mouth. Once we know our place, you understand, and then we can manage that. So what you need to do at that point in time is not to converse with them. is to pay attention to the conversations. Paying attention to the conversations. Why? Because you have the privilege of being in that room. You have the privilege of being in that car, where the kind of information you are hearing, you will not hear it outside that car. You will not hear it outside that room. Just a phone call. They are talking about 1 shares to buy. And you are privileged to be there. Don't say anything, just pay attention. Write it down in your mind. And then your 2 naira or 3 naira, buy the shares. There's a guy that actually did that in India. I mean, I can't remember his name. Life story. The man was a billionaire. The guy was driving in, so it was time for him to retire. So he was going to give him some things. And he told his boss that I appreciate what you're giving me, but let me let you know that while I was driving you, I will drop into your conversation. You tell them about these shares and their shares. I will now be putting my little money into those shares. Say I'm comfortable. I have been able to secure my life till forever by just paying attention to those things. So that's what you need. When you're with the principal, look, I don't expect my drivers to start talking to my friends. Just like even me, there are some places I will be that they don't even expect me to start talking to their own friends. If I'm with somebody and me now, I mean, I'm also doing well in my field. But when he was his friends, if they don't bring me to the conversation, I will not come in there. But we've been able to build that friendship to the point that it's no more, you understand, I'm not rank and file. Let me put it that way. I'm also an officer. So I can laugh to the jokes, I can crack jokes, but I grew into it. Do you understand? So please, know this very well. Once your principal does not like something, and you keep doing it, you are making withdrawals from your EBA. You don't have EBA there again. So anything you ask, you will get a no. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Please, let's quickly have the photography session with you, sir. Yeah. We'll have the GMD and Madam first. After this, we'll have our other guest. Let's make it simple while we're waiting for Barrister. Just tell me one thing you learned, one keynote you took from Pastor Nee. I want somebody from the, let's have one of our sales partners answer this. No, you're not our sales partners. One sales partner before Barrister comes up. No sales partner wants to talk. Nobody wants my card. I'm going now. I'm going. Gone. Barrister, sir.
Thank you. Please, can we have the presentation on the slide? Media, please, can we have the presentation on the slide? Okay, I believe all of us, we have the program of events. And I'll be talking on the topic that says the framework for effective corporate existence and the implementation strategy. Okay. So this is just to add to what Pastor Nee has said or has taught us this morning. What I am here to do is just to stir your mind also on how you can work collaboratively as an organization. When you look at, the composition of these organizations, Investor Group, you see that we have people in the cooperative society, the Saver Gem, the Saver Residence, and different aspects of the organization working together. In as much as you might be in the residence where you are involved in the property, but we are all gathered here and we are being, hosted in the same retreat. So, second slide, please. You can see that we need to also set the foundation for a corporate governance. In setting the foundation for corporate governance, we need to know what it means to have a corporate governance, because we are running as an organization. There has to be rules and regulations. There has to be procedures. There has to be methodologies, process, ways of doing things. So it is not like anyhow affairs. There must be process. So for an organization to function properly, those processes must be in place, and those processes must also be followed strictly, because it is our action that determines the output or the performance of the organization. In doing that, we need to balance the interests of all the stakeholders. Because there is an organization, there are several stakeholders, the MD, those in the management, those that own shares, workers, financiers, investors. We need to balance all the whole interests. How do you balance the interests? Making sure that you meet the needs of the board. Making sure that you meet the needs of the management. Making sure that you meet the need of the investors, the shareholders. For a shareholder or an investor, he will expect a return on his investment. When he is not getting return on that investment, we have failed as an organization to that investor. The same thing when it comes to a shareholder. He also expects to get dividends from his shares. So, and I'm glad that there are lots of testimonies on this place that nobody has ever invested in Silver Star that has not received its return on investment. So there is also essentials for proper functioning and long-term successes. What are these essentials? For there to be a proper functioning of an organization, there must also be rules and regulations. There must be things that are in place that must be followed strictly. That is the only way that you will be able to achieve long-term success. If you are to start work by 8, you must be at work at 8. If there are reasons not to be at work, there must also be procedures that should be in place for somebody to stand in for you, so that the work you are supposed to do will not be gap. There will not be gap in it. So these are things that should be in place, so that we have long-term successes. Because we should be looking at a situation whereby whether you are there or not, the organization will function until we rise to the point that the organization is now on the autopilot, whereby whether you are there or not, the organization is functioning. That is now when we are achieving long-term success. Adequate governance lead. Inadequate governance leads to risk. When you look at when there are no proper rules in place, it affects the level of risk that the organization is exposed. And the high risk an organization is exposed actually affects the output and the level at which people take interest in that organization. Nobody wants to get involved in a high-risk situation. We try to minimize our risk. So in whatever thing you are doing, you should try to minimize your risk. You look at your customers, your clients. Are there people that you can actually deal with? Because every customer, every investor has his own character traits. These are very important, for you to observe, because there are certain characters that customers or clients will exhibit. You would now see that there is no need for you to continue to proceed with that customer, or you minimize the level of engagement you have with that customer or client. So you need a lot of emotional intelligence in dealing with clients, in dealing with your colleagues, in dealing with your boss. Next slide. What we aim to achieve: 1 is to identify the scope and importance of corporate framework. The corporate framework we are talking about is a framework set in place to help all these different organizations function properly. It can actually, mean having a leadership and management development, whereby the leadership understands the people, what motivates them, and how to engage with them. In the earlier session we had, there was a question that was being thrown around for us to mention names of people. Nobody raised hand until there was an incentive attached to it. Everybody became excited. Everybody wanted to respond. That is a kind of things that leaders should begin to adopt. The management should adopt such incentives so that they will be able to develop or stir up the staff. We also want to achieve to understand the strategy and importance of strategy implementation. I know you always have meetings, regular meetings, staff meetings on Mondays. In those meetings, there are things that will be discussed, and how to go about it also will be discussed. how much strategy have you developed to implementing those decisions? This is what is expected of you. How much strategy? Because you need to begin to develop strategies of achieving results, not a situation whereby they will give you an instruction. You will also expect the person that gave you the instruction to give you processes, strategy on how to go about it. Come up with your own idea. Share with your superior. Maybe by the time you bandy over it, you'll be able to come out with a proper implementation strategy. Identify the key components needed for strategic implementation. The item 1 and 3 are just one and the same thing, but in item 3, it is a kind of listing out step-by-step ways of achieving what you want to do. When you don't plan, you plan to fail. It is a general knowledge. So there is nothing you need to achieve as an organization or in carrying out your functions, your duties, that you can achieve it without planning. Planning is very important. And if you're able to list out your plans, take records of what you are doing, it will help you. Learn the steps for successful strategy implementation. Self-development. You need to develop yourself in what you want to implement. Because when you don't develop yourself, you cannot properly execute your strategy. So it is important that we develop ourselves as members of Silver Star Group. Next slide. Can you interpret drawings? Can you interpret contracts? Because these are things that will keep happening in the course of your engaging with customers or clients that you want to sell property to. You are selling the wood finishers. How much more do you know about that? So you need to actually begin to develop your skill in whatever thing you are doing. You need to have the whole information about any product you are selling at the tip of your fingers, because you have just little or no time to actually explain it to your customer, because that customer that is willing to invest or to buy your product has no time. Maybe you are walking the person to the car. Oh, Oga, I have this product, so we have property in this place. This property goes with this, goes with that. You can achieve this. There is return on investment. Just in a snap of a finger, you have read out things. That is development. Leadership and management development. This is the aspect that deals with the highest in the hierarchy. The group managing director, the board, all the MDs. What quality of leadership are you exhibiting? If you really want to be a leader, you must show example. It is not for you to sit back and watch your staff do things. You should be able to also have knowledge of what they are doing, so that anywhere they are going wrong, you'll be able to call them to order. So even the leader needs his own development. Cross-company collaboration. We have more than 5 organizations working together as a Silver Star Group. In the course of you working in the residency, you can actually do something in the cooperative. You can do something on the beverages. You can do something on the wood finishing. Don't be a loner. A situation whereby you just concentrate, oh, I only sell property, I don't know what they're doing there. They are doing there. Because the opportunity you are looking for can actually come from the side that you are not working on. That is why we are all seated here in one room. The organizers of this retreat could actually separate for those in the estates, digitalize their system, whereby in the cooperative they now have an app and other things. We keep improving on the whole thing. We need to continue to improve on the innovations. I have less time. As we continue to improve the system, because technology has made work a lot more easier. You can actually work remotely from different places and do different things at the same time. So if there are new technologies in place that can enhance your work, you should have this is an opportunity for you to raise it in the course of management meeting, so that management can actually begin to consider it to improve your work. Risk management and compliance. You should be able to manage your risk. I've mentioned something earlier before now. There are risks that you should be able to take, and there are risks you should not take. Have an assessment of your involvement. Personal effectiveness. How effective are you in a given task? If you have not worked to the point that when it comes to any particular issue, they will say, go and call Femi, he will do it. You have not achieved effectiveness. Customer and shareholders management. So this has to do with how you manage your customer, how you make sure that there is also return on investment on the shareholders. Next slide. To implement all these things, we need an assessment and planning. In this assessment and planning, you will be able to see the gap analysis, you develop plans, and you allocate resources in the execution of this plan. So, assessment and planning is very key for an effective collaboration. How do you deliver your work? Delivery method. So in delivery method, we do a lot of training, partnership, and mentoring, e-learning. You need to train yourself, go to courses, participate in programs that will improve you. Measurement and evaluation. Are there evaluation procedure in the organization? This is actually for the management to take care of. They should have a way to evaluate the activities of the staff. It is very important that they evaluate them, because with that, you develop key performance indicators. Are these staff, performing up to the indicators already given to them? Sustainability measures, knowledge management, trend development, and learning culture. This learning culture is part of life. You keep learning, you keep learning because you die when you stop learning. Key success factors: executive sponsorship, alignment, resource, and monitoring. Well, in this aspect, it is also for the executive or the management to know that they need to sponsor the staff in different capacity building that is going on that will enhance their work. So with that, the last slide, we'll be looking at how to support system. How do you support the system? Go to the next slide. Technology infrastructure. Go to the next slide. Yes. Technology infrastructure. We need to use the technology to build our work. With technology, you can do a lot of things. Documentation. Our documentation should be top-notch. Everything that you are doing has to be documented in one way or the other. If you have meetings, you have records of your meetings. If you have assignment to do, you take record of the assignments to do, how far you have performed in those assignments. Communication strategy. How do you communicate? Do you give proper feedback of assignment that was being given to you? So to end this presentation, there is a key part, the path to effective corporate existence, and that path to effective corporate existence is effective corporate existence involving everyone. We all has to be all involved, and this strategic implementation requires identifying challenges and recognizing strengths and weakness. So we need to work in harmony. You see where one is powerful, we use that. The weak ones, we see how we support them. And there is also a call for action. Let us work together to build a strong future for Silver Star Company. Thank you.
Okay, any question? Just one question.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay. My questions are two questions. The first question, you started your introduction where I would like to understand your view on the company who has a layer of and the top managers often stumble on this some of the hierarchy. How do you suggest, how would you suggest on dealing with this hierarchy to increase productivity and effectiveness in the workplace? The second question, you rounded your presentation of digitalization, or let me say tools that enhance productivity. Do you, looking at the Silver Star Group, can you give us a few lines of something that we can implement to enhance productivity?
Well, on the issue of dealing with hierarchy, want you to understand that issues of hierarchy is from top to bottom first. Depends on the cadre you are. You have somebody you report to. So you don't need to jump the person that you report to and now going to the head. That is why you have various managers. Oh, sorry. That is why you have various managers before the group managing director. And from what I have observed, a lot of staff report straight to group managing director, avoiding the manager of your own department. I have even asked, the GMD to actually share my contact with all the managers so that not everything that they will begin to seek the GMD's opinion. They can seek my opinion when it affects the legal. So you need to follow the hierarchy of authority, the organogram. Whom do you report to? You report to the person and ask your questions there, show your dissatisfaction or complaints to them. Now, on the tools to deploy, there are several tools. We are in the age of technology. It all depends on what you are looking for. The kind of tools you deploy for an estate firm is not the same tool you deploy for an agro business. So, what function do you want? Then there are technologies already in place. If there is none in existence, we have developers that can actually develop some of this technology that will enhance your work. Okay. Any other question? In the absence of... Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, please. Sir, please.
All right.
I know that some of you are not 100% because I'm seeing credit alert flying up and down. So we're always standing, go for 15 minutes. Where are the managers? 15 minutes. Okay. No, just go home from there, Oni. Yeah? Just go home from there, don't need a year. It's 15 minutes, let's eat and come back because we'll have our guest speakers coming in shortly, please. We'll have our guest speakers coming in shortly, please. 15 minutes. you.